Mark Zuckerberg is arguably one of the most successful entrepreneurs of his generation. Despite his many accomplishments, such as being one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history, he gets a lot of flack about his metaverse vision. The fact is he sees the future of work and understands something that few others do. He's also in a position to invest in a future beyond the smartphone.
It never ceases to amaze me how short-sighted most media personalities are when talking about the metaverse. They focus on the visuals, the market cap of Meta, and how much it has gone down. But it seems pretty clear Mark Zuckerberg doesn't give a crap about the current market valuation of his company. He is focused on the long term, something the media isn't really capable of doing. We are at the beginning of understanding how humans can best interact with technology. As powerful as smartphones are, they are a poor interface for capturing information coming into your digital world, archiving and retrieving it at will, and sharing and collaborating with globally distributed teams as if they're in the same room. As someone with years of production experience, I can tell you, clients always focus on the visuals because it's the easiest thing for them to see. Still, regarding the metaverse, the visuals are unimportant at this development point. And I'm also quite sure Zuckerberg doesn't care how many people are using Facebook's metaverse, because growing users is not what he's focused on right now. Not in the least. Our current interfaces for computing, including flat monitors, keyboards, and mice, just won't cut it in an immersive AR or VR environment, which is painfully evident to anyone who's done their due diligence and tried to use these devices in VR. Meta has been investing billions in foundational technology required for remote workers to interact more naturally and seamlessly in both the metaverse and augmented reality. There's a reason Accenture bought 60,000 Oculus headsets for VR training. Google's Project Starline demonstrates the power and potential of remote working technologies that visually represent your avatar so well that it looks like you're sitting across from a real person. Meta's demo of their realistic avatar is already impressive, capturing eye movements and facial expressions that are at the core of human interactions. Unreal Engine 5 is already capable of rendering faces that are virtually imperceptible from real humans. Currently, the primary limitation to these technologies is computational power. And since computing power is expected to climb exponentially, it is clear that in a few years, photorealistic avatars that capture the nuances of human emotion will be mainstream. I think most people underestimate the potential of these technologies to replicate human presence, feeling like you're in the same room with someone on the other side of the world. As someone who works with people every day on 3 different continents, I understand the potential more than most. Clearly, Zuckerberg understands that investing in the foundational technology that goes beyond the limitations of the smartphone interface is a boss move. He's focused on developing the hardware to enhance human interaction. Haptic-based touch, gesture-based clicks, eye movement tracking, and object position tracking in a 3D space. Unfortunately, the mindless chatter of the press lamenting the fall of Meta stock demonstrates the ignorance of those who chase quarterly profits rather than long-term strategy focused on generating trillions of dollars. If Zuckerberg didn't have super voting rights, he might have been ousted by short-sighted board members like Steve Jobs was. But if I have to choose between an entrepreneur who had the foresight to buy Instagram in his 20s and make $100 billion on that decision versus chattering press, I'll side with Zuckerberg any day of the week. And for those whose blood is boiling right now because I said nice things about Zuckerberg, I think you need some perspective. First of all, the world's press has to stop blaming social media in general and Facebook specifically for all society's ills. People need to take some personal responsibility for their actions. For example, I don't have any QAnon, anti-vax conspiracy theories or any other garbage in my feed because I don't click on the damn stories in the first place. There's a reason Steve Jobs didn't give iPads or iPhones to his kids. If you think Instagram is hurting your teenage girls, then don't let them use Instagram. Don't blame the damn company. I know it's not that simple, but really it is. Facebook, Instagram is not your child's babysitter. And don't get me started on targeted ads. The people who rage against Facebook ads and the ad machine never ran a business. Getting customers and clients is hard, and small businesses are the backbone of society. Facebook is the best ad targeting mechanism ever created, an invaluable tool for millions of small businesses. What the hell is wrong with targeted ads? Back in the day of TV broadcasting, I would have to sit through sports ads and women and feminine products ads, neither of which held the slightest bit of interest for me. If people were willing to pay for services such as those provided by Facebook or Google, it wouldn't be a problem. But since the public is not, I suggest people turn their focus to solutions, or at least stop using the very services you are complaining about to complain. So, before you go demonizing Zuckerberg, I think people should look at their actions and take more personal responsibility. If people spent as much time and energy educating themselves on the political system, researching and supporting candidates with the people's interests in mind rather than complaining about social media, things would probably be better for them. The future is what we make it. And Mark Zuckerberg has a vision of the future which I think is inclusive and forward-thinking. But it's hard to get there, especially in this world where there's a lot of chatter. But I, for one, respect the man for trying. Don't settle. Do work you love. Design your future. Discover the best way to grow your business. Design your future. Monetize your story. Powered by Digital Samurai. Get started now. Scan the code or go to designyourfuture.biz.